You know, humans are really amazing. We're amazing that we find solutions to whatever problems that we come across. We always manage to solve the issues that get in front of us and become obstacles. Using our creative minds, we somehow figure out ways to move on. And that's why I love technology so much, is because it does solve a lot of the things that we face. Today I'm going to talk about a problem that I see in the EV industry, getting it moving forward. And I think that there's a solution that these creative minds have found, and that's what I want to discuss today. Do you remember the saying, necessity is the mother of invention? That is, I think, so true, that when we face problems, we get creative as humans and we innovate solutions to the problems. We overcome them. In other words, the challenges or hardships, that's what actually pushes us to invent and to adapt and to improve. And we're doing that to things that may not have ever been created if it had been easy to begin with. For example, when people needed to travel faster, humans invented the car and the airplane. And back when communications became important over the oceans, the telegraph and the telephone emerged. So it's really just basically a reminder that constraints and problems really do help spark the ingenuity rather than to block it. We can overcome the problems. Welcome to my channel. My name is Paul and my channel is Life After 70. Today, let's talk about the problem that is getting in the way of EV adoption, or mass EV adoption anyway, and that's home charging. Imagine a world if every EV owner had home charging. Would that be a perfect world? Personally, I think it would be. I think that that is key to having success in people's feelings about owning an EV, their happiness with owning an EV. And I think for those of you that have an EV, if you have home charging, you understand that. And for those of you that have an EV that don't have an EV or that don't have home charging, you certainly understand it too, that if you had it, you would feel a lot differently owning an EV, either way. So the question is how do we get there? You know, how do we get that adoption to take it to another level? Well, I think that if home charging became a must-have, where just about everybody had it, then who wouldn't want an EV? Who wouldn't want to be able to fuel up their car at home instead of going to gas stations? So first, let's look at the problem. The problem is, why don't EV owners have home charging? And I can think of only 3 reasons. And if you can think of more, please post them in the comments down below, because I'm trying to think what the problem is, or why the problem even exists, or why we're talking about it today. But if you have other ideas on this, I really want your comments down below, and I do read all the comments. So those 3 reasons that I see are, first off, cost. The cost of installing a home charger. It can be very expensive, depending. The second thing is capacity, that maybe you don't have the capacity, the electrical capacity in your home in order to put home charging in. Older homes past 20 years ago, they very likely will have some issues with capacity, whether their panel can handle another device, and especially a device like an electric car. And the other issue is location, logistics of the whole thing. It's how do you get the electricity from the panel to the car, or where the car is parked? And that can be an issue. And all these 3 things add up into why somebody wouldn't have home charging. So how do we get to solutions to solve these problems? Well, to deal with the cost part of it, the solution I see on that is it's simply there's more participation by the manufacturers, the manufacturers of cars that are selling EVs, that they have more emphasis instead of free charging, which some of them have done, and hopefully they are getting away from that, and hopefully they do, that they start redirecting that money through rebates or benefits or whatever in order to make the purchase more attractive, that they start picking up some of the tab for getting somebody set up with home charging, at least at some level. That's the first solution I see. The second thing is more participation by utilities, to get people the financial help they need in order to put home charging in. And this could be even through financing or rebates, but some benefit financially, like utilities do for solar panels, things like that, in order to get people hooked up at home. And the other is the government, that we, either local, state, or federal government, which isn't easy today in this climate, to get some help there. But that's the other possibility to get that cost issue taken care of. The solution can be solved simply by plugging your car into a regular outlet. The whole issue there is how many miles you can put into your car per hour. For my Lucid Air, plugging into a 120 volt outlet, I did a test on it on a previous video, and I was able to put in 1 kilowatt basically per hour, and 1 kilowatt adds up to about 3 miles. So 3 to 4 miles. So I was putting into the car about 3 to 4 miles of range every hour using the 120 outlet. So it's not a great solution, but maybe it'll work for you. But anyway, the cost factor, I think that there's some solutions there possibly, and I think that we need to look at those solutions. The second thing is capacity, or logistics. The second thing is capacity. Capacity is what you have at the panel, what's available at the panel. And there is a way to get past it, it appears. And this is part of what I'm going to go over in this video, later in the video, is the solution that's out there right now. And I discovered it a few months ago and kind of didn't do too much about it back then, thinking about it, but I am now. And that's the reason for this video, is because I revisited that solution that I found a few months ago, and it's pretty exciting. So you want to stay and watch that. The third thing is the logistics, the location, and that is always a bit of a problem, especially if you live in an apartment or a condominium. You may not have any availability of charging infrastructure built into the facility you're in. But here again, a lot of the government right now, a lot of the cities and states are mandating that infrastructure is put in on any new construction. But I think some money put towards towards that problem through either the utilities or city-state government. I think that putting some money and some investments into that is going to pay dividends for the way we move forward into this EV world. So let's talk about what I'm excited about, and the reason I did this video today. Let's talk about this new and exciting solution to what I think is the biggest problem with home charging, and how it can be satisfied, I think, for a lot of the people that aren't fortunate enough to be able to put home charging in or haven't been able to put home charging into their homes or apartments or whatever. So let's check that out. I'll take you through, and let's talk about it. Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is a website, and I think this is really exciting because it shows something that is very, I think, just amazing, that the things that people think up and what they come up with for solutions to problems, like we're talking about earlier. That's what, every time we have something that we think is an obstacle that's going to stop us, humans figure out a way to get around it. And this is just really a really smart solution here. This is a company that that came up with a very smart device here that can go behind the meter. And this is the meter coming in right here, and it attaches behind the meter, just plugs in behind the meter goes into it, and it bypasses the panel inside your house. It sends the electricity coming off the grid that's coming in from your power source before it even goes into the house, and it intercepts that before it goes into the house, and will draw the power needed in order to charge your car. And this is a great solution for a lot of you who may have homes that don't have any more space in the panel. The panel's full, your electrical panel. If your panel's full, then you need to either give up something else in the house in order to find space to put in your EV charger, or you can go to a solution like this, which I just think is brilliant. I really do. There's a lot of information on this website, and the installation is just nothing. I mean, it plugs in basically. It's a plug and go. The only thing that you're going to need beyond this, of course, is to get from this point here, your meter, wherever your meter happens to be, and you can go out and find your meter around your house, and where's your car parked in relation to that meter. So you have to get the power from the meter to wherever your car is parked. And that can usually be done, it'll be done through conduit, and it could be buried, it could be, you'd have to look at every situation, and certainly I recommend you get a good electrician that understands EV charging and is qualified to do this kind of work, a licensed electrician, to get the power over to where it needs to be for your car. So, but this eliminates that whole problem, the big problem that a lot of you face with panels, and having no space left in your panel. Your capacity come in maybe 100 amp or 200 amps. The car is going to draw 36, 42 amps, something around there, depending on how you set it up. So it's going to draw 42 amps, but it draws it before it ever gets to the panel. So it's really brilliant. Anyway, I would really recommend that you look up this. A very clever name for this company. It's called ConnectDER. It's ConnectDER.com. And I think that they're onto something here that is just perfect for level 2 charging to find solutions. And you can see here that it's been approved in a lot of states and a lot of localities in those states. A lot of the utilities have approved it. And you want to find out if your utility that supplies the power to your house has approved this. But you can see the states here that are already approved, and they're, I'm sure, going after this. When I first looked at this some time back, it hadn't gone through much approval with anybody. So they're getting out there, and they're doing, what's needed in order to bring this product out and make it available in hopefully your location, because I think it's just a brilliant solution. So that's kind of the purpose of my video today. The other thing I'm going to show you here in a minute is another YouTube videos, a YouTube channel that I've been following for this last year or two, on a guy who's really an entrepreneur and very smart, and he spent a lot of time coming up with charging solutions for the street-mounted pole that goes out into in front of your home, or it'd be good for apartment buildings or something like that, and it allows you to monitor its usage, and even to set up a billing for your neighbors if your neighbors wanted to use it. This guy spent a lot of time on this, and so let's go with that, and I'm going to show you that next. But this is something I am just really excited about, and I think that this has the potential to change the game for mass EV adoption. So check it out. I think it's worth it. So, okay, let's go take a look at the other solution that I came up with. Okay, so the other, I think, ingenious work that's going on out there to solve this problem for people of charging. It's a website and a YouTube creator. His name is Josh, and I'm going to put a link to the website down below, to the YouTube channel on the website, so you can go check him out. But I've been following this guy Josh, I'm trying to think of his last name, for about a couple of years. And the guy, I just love listening to him on YouTube. He's such a great creator and thinker, and his presentation is really fun to watch. Very interesting. He thinks through everything, all the little details, and he is I think somebody that you'd enjoy watching if you like technical stuff, or you like to look to the future and kind of see, get a vision of where things are going. These are the kind of things that I enjoy. So I hope you do too. But if you go to his website, which is his website is called CoulSt. It's CoulSt.com. So CoulSt.com. And I want to show you just kind of what he's doing. And the best thing for you to do is go to his YouTube channel or to his website. And he's got the YouTube video up on his website. So really interesting guy. And I really think you should take a look at him. It's fun to watch him present his problems, his obstacles that he has continually overcome on this quest that he's had to solve a big problem, which is charging for people that don't have garages. And so I love this solution. So let's take a look at this right here. And you can see he starts out here with EV charging for the garageless. I like that. It's not the homeless, but the garageless. And everybody needs charging. All very true. So here's a video that he put up that kind of explains his company and his vision and what he's doing. And I don't think he's actually on the market with this yet, but I just love what this guy does. And I think that you should watch this video, and you likely will enjoy it as much as I do. I'm not going to go into depth on all this thing and create a longer video than I've already made you suffer through, so I don't want to keep going on this. But I just think this is exciting for me, and you can get on the mailing list with him, which I'd really recommend you do. Let's go take a look at his about info here. The team, there they are, the team, and it's Josh Charles. He's the founder and CEO of the company, and he's been raising money and going through the process of being an entrepreneur and developing something. Is just really, really fun. And I don't know Tristan, I haven't seen him on the videos, but Josh is kind of the front guy that presents all of the issues that they're going through in order to bring this thing to market. So anyway, I think that's enough, and I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you're inspired with hope like I am, that things are just going to get better and better. And I'm such a believer in EVs, and I'm so excited about it, and that's why I do these videos, is because I really enjoy this. And I want to continue doing it. And the thing that motivates me is by having a lot of people looking at the video and commenting on the video, and people liking the video, and people subscribing to my channel. And the subscribing, by the way, costs nothing. There's no subscription that you have to pay for to subscribe to a channel. All you're doing to YouTube is saying, I like this channel. I want to see more of the content that this channel offers. So I want to be notified. You can ring the little bell, and it'll notify you when I put a new video up onto my channel. So I'm having fun with my channel, Life After 70. This is a fun project for me, and I hope that it's something you enjoy. And if you do, you really help me a lot by subscribing and by pressing the thumbs up, and also making comments. The comments, I read every one of them. They're important to me, so I look forward to hearing from you. And I thank you very much for joining me today. I'm excited about this. Hope you are. And I hope that you'll come back and watch more videos soon. Thank you. Bye.